All right, so we wanted to talk to you guys about using a lifting belt, the purpose of it, how to use it, why to consider it, and why not to consider it. Using a lifting belt can help create more stability in your core, in your torso, to move better, to lift heavier weights. Now, it is a tool, and like any tool, there is a correct way to use it and there's an incorrect way, right? There's reasons to use this and then there's reasons not to. First, let's talk about the concept of using a belt and why you want to consider it. The lifting belt is used as a device to push against from the inside out to create more stability in your midsection to protect your spine. And we do this with our breath, okay? So that's what core strength really is. We're talking about creating stability when we say draw in your breath. We're trying to draw your breath down into your diaphragm to create pressure 365 all the way around to push out to solidify your core here, because we don't want any excess rotation. We don't want any bending or movement in the spine when we're saying, let's doing a deadlift or a squat. So it starts with a breath. The belt can be used as a teaching device, so it gives you feedback as far as pushing against it, but you should learn how to control your breath and create stability without the belt first. The best way to do this is to place your hands, in line with your belly button and squeeze, so you have thumbs in your back, hands wrapped all the way around. And when you draw in your breath, instead of drawing it all up in your chest, we want to try to inflate your diaphragm. Okay, so when you draw in your breath, all right, you should expand all the way around. Now, it's not just in your belly, okay? You should be pushing out against the sides. You should be pushing back, towards your thumbs. That's the type of pressure we want to create with our breath and keep when we're lifting. So you should be able to do this just using your hands, practice the skill, and apply it without a belt. Now, here's where the belt comes in and may be useful to you, okay? Now, the belt itself is not useful if you cannot create stability with your breath to push against it. If you have back pain or back issues or a history of back injuries, putting this belt on and tying it down really tight serves no purpose. It's just like putting on a tight shirt. The belt doesn't do anything unless you can push against it. Think of the belt as thicker tread on a tire. If you can't inflate the tire, putting thicker tread on the tire is not going to be useful. We need to inflate the tire with our breath. So what you can do is using the belt, it creates more stability and something to push against. So when you put the belt on, all right, you want it, in the midsection, a little bit above the belly button, okay? And you should be able to draw in that breath and push against it. It's not a passive thing, so you can't just tighten up the belt and expect that to help you. Now, if you feel like you need the belt to lift, that is an indication of taking the belt off and reassessing your movement, your mobility, and your breath. I only use a lifting belt when I'm lifting heavier than, I'd say, 85, 90%, depending on the repetitions and the rep scheme. You should not need to use a belt. It is a tool, but you do not want to become reliant on it. So if you do have more questions about, should I be using your belt, how should I use it, and when, please let us know. But the belt itself will not save you or prevent back pain or fix back dysfunction. It's a tool, but you need to learn how to create stability without it first.